I will be your host and one of your presenters today. My name is Ankita Dasgupta, and with us joining, if we go to the next slide, we will be joined by Devin Brooks, our amazing solution consultant. Selfishly, he's my favorite. I won't tell anybody else if you don't. Devin, do you want to introduce yourself?
Of course, yeah. Hey everyone, my name is Devin Brooks. I'm a solutions consultant here on the GoTo side, and I am dialing in from Phoenix, Arizona. So it is. Yeah, I'm sorry you're dealing with that weather, Ankita.
I mean, it's so cold. The other day, like it said, feels like 18 degrees Fahrenheit. And I was like, I'm done. I can't. I put my winter jacket away already. I can't pull it back out.
Yeah, that's way too cold for me. I couldn't deal with it.
Yeah. So thank you, Devin, and let's get started. So in terms of the agenda today, we will have an overview of AI Receptionist, which I know is all the reason why you guys came, not just to see my pretty face, but really to learn more about the AI Receptionist. Devin will come back on camera later on and we'll show you a demo showcase of how it works, because why not see how it works? And then, of course, we'll have the Q&A. But just as a reminder, definitely enter in all of your questions as you can within the chat bot. That's how we'll be able to address anything that comes up. So next on our agenda, let's dive into introducing our AI receptionist. It's, of course, the 24/7 smart assistant that never misses a call. And so let us dive into a short little video to see it a little bit in action, and I will be right back.
My name is Luma, your virtual assistant. Who am I speaking with today?
Good evening, Luma. My name's Dave. Nice to meet you.
Good evening, Dave. Nice to meet you too. How can I assist you today?
Long story short, I'm interested in the Orbit kitchen light. Just want to check if you do have a showroom. Is it open? And obviously, do you have the product in stock? I need about 6.
I can help with that. Could you please share your zip code with me? That way, I can find the nearest showroom for you and check the stock for the Orbit kitchen lighting system.
Yeah, my zip code is 22305.
The nearest showroom to you is in Alexandria. As for the Orbit kitchen lighting system, we do have it in stock with 12 units available. So you're in luck if you need 6. If you'd like, I can arrange for a callback to discuss your purchase or any other questions you might have.
Yeah, I do have a couple of questions around the fittings and things.
I'll arrange for someone from our team to give you a call back to discuss the Orbit kitchen lighting system and any questions you have about the fittings. If you have any other questions in the meantime, feel free to reach out. Have a good evening.
And you, take care. Bye-bye.
I absolutely love that video. I think it does a really great job at telling us and showing us what the customer, the end customer, gets to see when they're utilizing our amazing AI receptionist. And so with that, let me take a step back. Let me talk about GoTo Connect and how we're providing practical AI. So we have been on this journey with many of you and soon to be with some of you, leveraging generative AI to advance the quality and efficiency of the customer experience. And so many of the things that we have been building in terms of our practical AI have been around productivity and insights. And so some of that, like an example for productivity, would have been AI meeting summaries or AI call summaries, so that your staff can really focus on what matters and not having to spend so much time going through or rewatching a video to kind of understand what's been talked about. And in terms of insights, if you have some of our contact center options, you will be able to utilize, or even the reporting and analytics option. We have helped use AI to give an analysis, an overview of all the trends that are happening based off the data, because who has that amount of time to be able to sift through the data to then be able to give insights and trends so quickly? And that's why it is practical AI. And then finally, where we're focusing our impact for practical AI is on that digital workforce, providing personalized and practical, enhanced that simplify your customer journey. And so this is where we're going to talk about the AI receptionist the most. And if we go to the next slide, why don't we actually dive into a little bit of what we've seen with our AI receptionist. So as mentioned before, it is the 24/7 assistant that never misses a call, automates simple tasks, and delivers better customer service faster and more affordably. We had a beta running against our AI receptionist, and we saw great results with our customers. And I actually will get into that in a little bit. But what we saw from the results of having the beta before we launched live were that we were able to boost operational efficiency, reduce average call duration, and increase first call resolution. But most importantly, what we saw was improving that overall customer satisfaction, because who doesn't want their questions answered immediately? And so with the next slide, we actually will talk through what some of the AI receptionist goes through and what it offers. It is truly an always on AI that works hard, and I love this phrase, it works hard so you can work smarter. And part of that is because it truly does answer every single call. Once you start it within your dial plan, it will literally go through and make sure no lead, no inquiry goes unanswered. But the best part about that is that it's going to capture whatever customer information that you want it to capture so that you can follow up, ensuring that it is getting directed to the right place or it's getting followed up from your team. And then those call handoffs are so seamless, they're frustration free because context is provided. The other part of this, again, and I know we talked about this earlier, is that we're going to be able to free up the time for your team to work on different tasks because it can handle the call routing aspects, especially for simple tasks. It can also handle and answer questions because you'll be able to provide a knowledge base for it to reference to answer things like, what time are you open? Where are you located? Anything like in terms of an FAQ, it will 100% answer on its own. And so it's wonderful in that aspect because it is so easy to set up. It's ready to go in minutes. And the best part about this is that you can see how the AI receptionist works in real time. So in that top screenshot of the slide, you can get a glimpse of literally all the actions the AI receptionist will take, including what information it captured, what knowledge base it accessed, and then also potentially if it handled the call or needed to transfer the call. And so by observing all of that information and data, you can either say, great, it's working in the way that I expected it to, or you can make optimizations to make it work better and smarter for you. The other aspect that I love about the AI receptionist is that it has customizable tone and voice. So there's at least 6, 7 different options for you to choose from, whether it's a female voice, male voice, and then also something like professional or personal, friendly, different tones. And we have plans to support up to 10 plus different languages within the AI receptionist. So if we go to the next slide, I think I've talked about some of these features specifically, but I want to call out three different ones that I think really make this an exceptional experience. So I talked about AI visibility, being able to see every single action it takes. This helps provide transparency into how it's actually addressing opportunities and then allowing you to find ways in which you can make optimizations to the plan. So as I mentioned in the previous slide, you can see that whole screen of how it picked up a call, what information it captured from the customer, especially if that's information you wanted to capture, what knowledge base it answered, if it had to route the call to a specific department. All of that is completely visible to you. So that's one of my favorite aspects of the AI receptionist. My second favorite is this information capture. And honestly, I really shouldn't be ranking them, but it's hard not to when it's working so well. But the information capture is huge because let's say you have a call, you have 10 calls coming in, and you can only get to a certain amount. The AI receptionist will pick up as many as it can, pretty much all of them. As I mentioned, it never misses a call. And it will capture whatever customer information you want it to capture, say like name, location, phone number, and then be able to send that information at any time of day to your email or to your CRM. And I love that because what we've seen in some of the competitor space is that if your hours aren't open, if you pick up the call, if the AI receptionist picks up a call, they'll just send it to the normal voicemail queue, which means the next day, me as a human will have to go through and sift through my voicemail to be like, oh, so-and-so needs a call back. I need to get back to Ted about this. This one was an easy answer that unfortunately we didn't get the answer to. If the AI receptionist picks up the call and is able to answer the question, great, it will handle that question. If it's a complex, it will handle it by capturing all the information, sending it to the email to say, follow up with this person. And that allows you to have more timely follow-ups with the customer and with the minimal effort needed to do so. The other aspect I do want to call out too is that you can set your knowledge base, you can set your FAQs. So you have the ability to make sure that the AI receptionist can answer whatever questions that you would like it to. It's completely customizable. And then provide interaction rules or guidelines so that it knows when to escalate, how to handle whatever situation, and route them specifically. So it can truly work for you to deliver that exceptional customer experience. If we go to the next slide, I'm just going to lay out a few of our differentiators, some of which I talked about, so that actionable information capture is huge. We saw this boost our customer satisfaction scores with our beta customers because of the timely follow-ups. And it definitely solves for whether you're in or out of hours, business hours. So making sure that you can then handle all your calls, 0 opportunities missed. The AI visibility and also the platform advantage is huge for our GoTo Connect AI receptionist because, again, you can see the transparency, you can see the performance of how it's working to provide optimizations, and it works seamlessly across our GoTo Connect platform because it is part of our GoTo Connect platform. So when I talk about you setting up our GoTo Connect dial plan, this literally fits right into it, not a problem at all. And then lastly, our language and region support. So we are available, or the AI receptionist is available in select regions across North America, LATAM, EMEA, and APAC. Essentially everywhere GoTo Connect is available to sell. And as mentioned, we support English today with plans to have more rolling out in the next few weeks. So jump in hot. But I know all of you are super interested on our pricing plan. So if we jump to the next slide, we have created some flexible plans for unlimited receptionists. So we have 2 options here. One is a pay-as-you-go. You have no minutes included, but you're paying per minute that you utilize. And so if you're if you're a little unsure about whether or not an AI receptionist will work for you, this is the perfect way to get started. You really only pay per minute that you use. It's perfect for a test drive, if you will. And then we also have a fixed price version. And so this includes 3,000 minutes, and then you will see an overage charge per minute after. This is perfect for customers who have high call volume and are ready to commit to seeing the AI receptionist in use. And if we go to the next slide, as I mentioned, we had a beta running for about 6 months prior to us going live. We've had a few different customers. The next slide actually goes into some of the industries that we had in our beta program. And if we go to the next slide, yep, thank you. Some of the industries involved in our beta program included higher education, retail and e-commerce and utility providers. You can see here that a lot of them had to do with answering really easy or simple questions that they commonly would receive. And I will note that like we're actually these were the industries within our beta program, but having gone live, we have seen use cases across our automotive industry and also healthcare as well because of the need to answer scheduling questions, or what do I do if I have this issue, or when can I get an appointment with you. So definitely, while these are the industries that were in our beta program, it's not exclusive to help just these ones. And don't take it from me. We did have a customer share his testimonial. So if the next slide, we had a customer from MV Transportation, his name is Armando Kling. He absolutely loved how easy it was to set up the GoTo AI Receptionist. It helped deliver answers like FAQs, like hours of operations or holiday schedules, but that it handled the calls seamlessly and it freed up the time for his team to focus on higher priority tasks. So that is just one example of a customer who saw some of the benefits of our AI receptionist. That's it for me for now. We're actually gonna jump into our demo showcase. And so I think we can, Devin, get that started. I'll be back.
I'm excited to walk you through one of the most powerful automation tools within GoTo Connect, our AI Receptionist. And in today's business environment, efficiency and customer experience are key. And the AI Receptionist is not only designed to handle common inquiries, intelligently route phone calls, but most importantly, also ensure your customers are getting the answers they need without tying up your staff. So let's dive in and take a closer look at how this works. Now, from the AI employee or AI receptionist section here within the GoTo admin portal, all AI receptionists would live and can be created within the receptionist section. Now, within each individual AI receptionist, we give admins or users the ability to pick and choose the voice that they want to implement or select for the AI receptionist. And you could also pick and choose a tone. So we can have the AI receptionist be more of a professional tone when having these conversations with callers calling in. Or if we want to direct it to have a more casual or relaxed conversation, that's also an option within the tone section. Now for the baseline AI receptionist duties, transferring capabilities can be configured and streamlined within the call transferring section. Now this is going to allow admins or users to describe when they would like calls to be transferred to this specific destination, whether it's a queue, whether it's a direct extension, or even a ring group or completely separate dial plan on the platform. Now within these transferring options, admins can then go and direct or instruct the AI receptionist on when they want calls to be transferred to this queue, group, or extension. Now in this service example, I've directed the AI receptionist that if a caller calls in and requests maintenance, repair, maybe they have questions around service pricing or warranties, or even any information around the recall or the status of their vehicle, any one of these topics or information is mentioned, we have now directed the AI receptionist to then go and pass that call to the service. Now, in the event that a caller may just have simple questions, it may not call for a live conversation or a live human interaction. That's when the FAQ and the knowledge base can come into play for the AI receptionist. But first with the FAQs. These are typically question and answer pairs. So things such as what's your office hours, maybe some location information, or in the service case, maybe any financing options, or maybe if they want to schedule a test drive with their appointment. So these different question and answer pairs, admins can come in and configure or set up their AI receptionist to address without having to route it to a live person. Now, maybe for the questions or inquiries that callers may have that get a little bit more in depth than just a quick answer or a question answer pair, the knowledge base in that case can come into play. Now, the knowledge bases, I've currently armed my AI receptionist with two knowledge bases that I've included or created. The knowledge base allows for articles and tables to be created, which then allow your AI receptionist to go and search and find the information that the caller is looking for. For example, imagine someone first calls into this dealership and Enzo were to address that call. The caller or customer may be in search for service, but we can direct Enzo or the AI receptionist to first clarify what type of service is needed. Tire rotation, is it balancing, or is it a complete transmission repair? So given the service that the caller or client actually needs, we can gather that information, pre-routing them to a queue or group, and then we can then provide those specific users or groups with that information that we've obtained. And for these different knowledge-based articles, these can be implemented and selected on the AI receptionist itself. Now, sticking to that service example, we have now directed the AI receptionist to use this specific knowledge article when customers ask for service. And first, we need to clarify which service that they're looking for and also triple check that it is a service that we provide as a dealership. If we need to gather further information or capture further information for those specific use cases, the info capture here can be implemented prior to passing that call to the specific queue or group needed. Meaning, in my service example, when transferring to the service queue, I have directed the AI to capture this information regarding the caller. So prior to passing them to the service queue, we would like to obtain the caller's full name, the make, model, and year of that specific vehicle that they need serviced. Now, when that information is captured, we could also instruct the AI receptionist to then go and send that information to a particular email address with that information. So that can be the supervisor or manager of that queue, or if we need to send it to a distribution email where all service members can receive that, we can input any email into the specific field. And lastly, interaction rules. Now, the interaction rules uses natural language, and this will specifically allow admins to directly influence or shape the way AI behaves or the AI receptionist behaves and responds to customers. An example of that, specifically for my service department, if the caller is asking about service, I have directed or instructed the AI to, before gathering the information of the caller, use the knowledge base to clarify which services they need. That allows the AI receptionist to obtain the information that the caller is calling in regards to, then pass that information to the appropriate extension or groups. Ultimately, that's going to be helping that specific customer or caller. Now, with all that being said, and after viewing the various advantages the AI receptionist can provide, let's take a look at actually bringing this to life within the dial plans. So within the dial plans, the AI receptionist is going to be available as another node here on the left-hand side, meaning it can be placed anywhere in the call flow. So first and foremost, we can utilize a schedule to ensure that our AI receptionist is only addressing calls during open hours, or vice versa. If we wanted to implement the AI receptionist to only come into play after hours, then we can utilize a schedule to really direct when the AI receptionist needs to come in and handle these interactions. But as you can see, this can be placed open, close, holiday hours. It could also be placed based on a selection on the auto attendants. So anywhere that an organization needs to implement the AI receptionist, the dial plans here is essentially going to allow them or give them the options to configure it wherever it needs to be. Let's go ahead and see this AI receptionist in action here. So I'll go ahead and call in.
Hello, how can I help you today?
Yes, I'm calling in regards to service for my vehicle.
Could you please tell me the make, model, and year of your vehicle?
Yes, I drive a 2023 Hyundai Sonata.
Thank you. Could you please provide your full name for the service appointment?
Devin Brooks.
Let's get you scheduled with a representative. Before I transfer you to service, I need to capture some information. Would you like me to connect you to the service department now?
Yes.
I've connected you to the service department. They'll assist you with scheduling your maintenance appointment. Have a great day.
Now, as a user that is handling or receiving the interaction, receiving the preliminary information our AI receptionist has already captured really helps the user identify who is calling, but most importantly, what they are calling for, and what may be the best route to assist this caller that is dialing in and that is all driven and produced by the GoTo AI Receptionist. And last but not least, I wanted to discuss the GoTo call reports and specifically the observability functionality that the AI Receptionist will provide. Now, within the GoTo call reports, we can utilize the filter to first identify all calls that the AI Receptionist was involved in, and then most importantly, the outcome of those interactions. Now, within every interaction or phone call that the AI Receptionist is involved in, the AI Receptionist will provide a call reason, so what was the intent or need of that call, but also specifically the outcome of that interaction. Now, this will allow for quick and easy visibility into seeing why the call was transferred, or even in the event of an escalation per the caller's request, identifying the why, such as why did the escalation occur, which in turn we can take this information that is produced within the call reports and then go and make improvements or enhancements to the receptionist to then ensure that we can supply our AI receptionist with the correct information and the correct data to handle any and all future interactions that occur in the business. So during the demo, we covered the configuration and setup of the AI receptionist. We also saw and had a discussion live with the AI receptionist, which is able to quickly and efficiently provide me the answers needed, or in our specific example, transfer me to the correct group or queue, and while doing so, also passing the call details and the call reason to that end user that's actually receiving the call. And then lastly, we also saw the reporting and observability functionality that the AI receptionist will provide, which is then going to highlight the insights and the data needed to then make enhancements or improvements within the AI receptionist to ultimately allow the AI receptionist to scale as the business continues to scale.
All right. I hope you enjoyed that demo. I think Devin did a great job. Again, we'll send the recording in an after email follow-up, but I just wanted to touch base on some of the AI investments that we have planned for 2025, again, under that special brand of Practical AI. So if you were joining us in February, we did launch another paid add-on. This is our AI quality management. It offers employee improvements that were in the past out of reach for small businesses. It's specifically for contact centers who are looking to make sure that employees have what they need and have maintaining, that's why it's named quality management, maintaining quality assurance. And then as we talked about today, we are introducing that digital workforce under Practical AI. AI Receptionist lives here. And this is, again, to enhance your customer interactions and help automate some of those simple tasks. We will have additional items coming out in 2025. So there will likely be an AI agent, so expanding our workforce into additional use cases. And then, of course, always improving our insights pillar with analysis. So more will be coming to reporting and AI optimization later on this year. And so with that, I'm going to pop up a poll. If you would like to speak to the GoTo expert, especially if you're curious about pricing options or how you can get started almost immediately, feel free to answer this poll. And don't worry, we will be getting into the Q&A. I saw some really awesome questions that have popped up, and so I'm excited to dig into all of that. Of course, keep your questions coming. We will do our best to get to all of them. But yeah, let us know. Do you want to speak to a GoTo expert? You could possibly speak to Devin. I mean, who doesn't want to speak to Devin? All right, I think we're a bit steady on the responses here, so why don't we jump into some of the Q&A? Let us get into that. All right. So Devin, thank you so much for your awesome demo. And there are
Of course.
lots of questions for you specifically. Um, can the AI receptionist switch the call over instead of someone having to call the customer back?
It's a great question. Yeah, and that's going to directly tie into, excuse me, those transferring rules that was covered in the demo. So instead of actually requesting or scheduling that call back and passing that information to an email via the info capture, we can utilize the transferring rules or configuration to pass that call to an extension, queue, group, whichever user on the platform is needed in that case.
Amazing. I did see a few questions asking about like use cases, if this would be a good option for like plumbing or dentists. What's your thought process on that?
My thought process would be absolutely. Whether it's during open hours to address all calls that come in, we can provide the AI receptionist with the knowledge or the information to either provide an answer to that person or even transfer them to the appropriate, extension, queue, or group as mentioned. But also a lot of times what I've seen is even after hours, right? Instead of having a caller just go to a voicemail box, we can gather that information. Maybe they just have a simple question. Hey, I know it's after
Totally.
hours. I can come in on, or I'm trying to come in on a Monday as soon as you guys open. What time do you guys open? AI receptionist can provide that information, or it can capture some additional information, pass it to an email address, and the business already has that information captured, and they can return that call and know exactly what that caller needs. So various different ways, plumbing, all types of different verticals or industries, I think the AI receptionist can be utilized in.
No, I think it's totally fair. I think there's so many different use cases, and a lot of it comes down to how you want to configure it for your business, how you can potentially get the best out of the AI receptionist. All right, so there's a question here. What happens if the customer does not know exactly what they're looking for? How do you think the AI will interpret, help redefine, and align them to our products? And where does the AI learn its information or go to gather a baseline of information?
Great question. Yeah. So if the AI receptionist doesn't have an answer to the question that the caller is essentially asking for, that can also tie into the transferring rules. So if someone calls in and says, "Hey, I need a quote on XYZ," maybe the AI receptionist doesn't know specifically the price, but they know that quote is actually tied to sales. So in that case, they could escalate or transfer that call to someone in the sales group, or there is also an escalation option as well. So if the caller is just steady asking their question, we can also escalate that to a live person in the event that they need to speak to someone live. So various different ways that we can really arm our receptions with the transferring rules, but also the knowledge base as well.
I think that is a perfect segue to this next question. What is the difficulty level in setting up the AI receptionist?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great question. So it is very user friendly and I would say simple to configure just because we have provided a kind of a get started guide within the AI receptionist. So it's essentially going to walk you through each individual step of actually configuring that AI receptionist to make sure that as you go in and configure escalation or transfer, you have the requirements to make sure that the AI receptionist is functional.
Amazing. It's just, honestly, I made this joke the other day to our product team. I was like, this is so simple that I, as a non-tech savvy person, can set this up. And I just really appreciate how intuitive the setup plan has really been. It's made it really easy.
Yeah, and it's using natural language too, right? So if you're configuring transferring rules, you can essentially explain or type out using the English language or natural language to explain to the AI exactly how you want it to function or how you want it to route calls or essentially interact with your customers.
Totally. Can AI transfer and pick the call back up if someone does not answer instead of sending it to a voicemail?
So that's a great question. So there is a way that we by utilizing dial plans. So if the call needs to go to the sales group, we can pass that to the sales dial plan. And if the sales group is unable to pick up, we can then roll that back over to the AI receptionist as well. So various ways to configure that within the platform.
I love that you brought up the dial plan because there is a question about the dial plan. Because why wouldn't there be? It's great. Can AI receptionists work with existing dial plans without having to make any additional changes?
Absolutely. Yeah. So the AI receptionist is just another node within the dial plan. So as you saw in the demo, if you wanted to implement it at the very front of a dial plan or even based off of an option on an auto attendant, or again, after hours, it's as easy as just dragging the node over within the call flow and just implementing that wherever the business needs it.
Amazing. I love this question. How many AI receptionists are you able to have?
There's currently not a limit. So however many that the business needs, however many dial plans that you have, you can go in and configure as many as you need.
There's no limit. I feel like I'm quoting The Big Bang Theory. There's no limit to the hero. Please don't hate me for liking that show. I really, it's a good time. Um, okay, let's see. If the AI handles the customer's basic question efficiently, will we have visibility into that completed call or the results as well? And will that also be emailed?
It's a great question. So depending on the call, obviously that info capture piece is the functionality that's going to gather that information and then pass it to the email. So if you require or you configure your AI receptionist with an info capture, we can gather that information and email it to whichever email address that you input within the admin portal or within the AI receptionist. But on the other side of that, within the demo, I briefly showed the reporting piece. So you would be able to actually filter down based on the calls that had the AI receptionist involved, and you can see the call reason. So exactly why is that caller calling in, but also the call outcome. So for example, I always like to use the example of escalation. So if you realize 3, 4, or 5 of my calls today were escalated to a live person, you can go in and then go and make adjustments to your AI receptionist.
Oh, so seamless. I will give you a break and I will take this question. How does
Okay.
the pricing work? So as I mentioned during the presentation, there's two options in terms of pricing. So again, if you're not quite sold, I didn't do my job well enough, but if you're not quite sold yet, there is a pay as you go option. So you pay per minute, really flexible in terms of like what that looks like. The rate changes based off of the country that you're in. And then in terms of the secondary option, you have a fixed price that includes 3,000 minutes, and then you will be charged an overage if you go over the 3,000 minutes. And again, that price changes just based off of your region, which is why we ask that you contact us or we'll reach out to you should you have answered yes to the poll to understand what pricing options work best for you. Okay, Devin, you got your water. We're coming back to you. Will this
All right.
comply with confidentiality requirements for, let's say, healthcare or law firms and financial advisors?
It's a fantastic and valid question. So it should. So it is important to know that the data is not shared or used to train the AI model in any manner. And we're actually utilizing an Azure instance of OpenAI. So we're leveraging the components, the infrastructure and security of Azure and ensuring that data is not shared directly with the OpenAI model to train it going forward.
I love that. Okay, so we have a question here. Can the AI receptionist refer to our website or given a URL for a knowledge base?
Great question. So right now, not at this time, but that is something that we're actively working on, the ability to just enter a website or a URL and capture the information from that website to allow your AI receptionist to have that information. And then also a kind of a document upload or a text file upload. We're also working on that as well. So currently, no, but in the event that you needed to take some information from a text file or a document or even your website, you could essentially grab that information, copy and paste it into a knowledge base, and then your AI receptionist can have the information that way. But soon we'll have the ability to allow you to just include that website or that document and essentially it.
Amazing. Can you upload documents? And if so, is there a limit to the size?
That's going to go back to that previous question. So that's something that we're actively working on there. So the ability to upload a document and then the website URL is two items that we're working on within the knowledge base.
Perfect. Let me give you another break. Does the AI work with other languages? And yeah, so right now we currently support English. Quite literally, in the next few weeks, we will be supporting close to 10 plus languages. That will include French, Portuguese, Spanish, and quite a few more. And so we'll be there very shortly, very quickly. Um, Devin, right back to you. Can the AI receptionist be routed to a queue if inbound caller needs further assistance? Do you want me to
Absolutely.
take
Yeah.
that?
No, that's that. I can take that. So that is that ties into the transferring rules that you as an admin configure. So depending on the caller's question or inquiry, you can transfer it to any individual queue that you have on the platform there. So absolutely.
Amazing. Can this be set up in a way where inbound callers can decide whether or not they want to speak to the AI receptionist?
Yes, and I've come across a few use cases that are very similar. And the way that we can do that within the GoTo platform is utilizing the dial plan and then essentially the auto attendant. So press one for the AI receptionist, press two if you want to speak to the front desk, for example. So if they press one, again, that AI receptionist is just another node in the dial plan, which really can be implemented anywhere that the business needs it to be. So absolutely.
Can it handle a high volume of calls or calls simultaneously?
It can, yeah. So the concurrent calls that come into the platform, there's not really there's a limit on the phone number level, which is 250 concurrent calls currently, but from the AI receptionist standpoint, we're not limiting the PBX or the organization on the amount of concurrent calls there. So it'd be able to handle the amount of concurrent calls that you guys are receiving today.
Amazing. Okay. And then I'm seeing quite a few questions around messaging. Can the AI receptionist support that? That is also something that is very close on our roadmap. But Devin, actually, I wonder if there's something else you want to speak on for that.
Yeah, are you referring to, Ankita, like the greeting that when they first call into the organization or?
Sending text messages.
Okay, sending text messages. So the way that right now we're working on, as Ankita mentioned, the ability for the AI receptionist to send a text message, but there's also a send SMS node in the dial plan. So if we needed to get creative and pass the call to a dial plan that has the send SMS node, there's some options we have there as well. So yeah.
Cool. Let's see. Will the AI be able to transfer calls? Right now we have our routing set up so if someone prefers to text us, they press 1 and send out a text to the caller. So yeah, will it be able to transfer calls?
Yes. So yeah, we can utilize the transferring rules within the AI receptionist to transfer that call to anyone or any extension on the platform.
Amazing. Okay, so then there is a question about the follow-up. So it goes to email, but we have also seen it send to a CRM if that was added into the GoTo Connect product. How's that sound?
Was that a question for me, Ankita? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that was me. I didn't, I'm like reading all these questions that are coming and trying to answer
Oh, good.
or asking questions. The question was, okay, so great. We understand it sends emails, but does it also send the actionable information to CRMs?
Got it. So not out of the box today. There's not like a plugin or an option to select like send to CRM, but if there is different options or applications within your CRM today that can receive that information via email, whichever email that's actually tied to that CRM, you can just input that within the text field of that email box to automate that information off.
Okay. Let's see. There was a question about pricing again. So the 3,000 minutes per what time period? So that's your monthly billing. So that 3,000 minutes for the fixed pricing option will be for your monthly billing, and then it resets in the next billing month. And then I think we may be coming up on time. But I wanted to see if we got to most of the questions. There's been some really great ones. I love it.
Yeah.
Does the AI receptionist have any learning capabilities?
So no, the model itself, it's GPT, generative pre-trained transformer, so the model's already trained. The only thing that we can essentially provide it information on is the knowledge base information that we're providing it within the admin portal, and then also any FAQ information. So again, the data is not going to be shared or trained, or the data is not going to be used to train the AI model going forward, and it's not going to be shared directly with the LLM.
Amazing. Is there tutorials and how-tos on how to best feed info to each time of the AI utilized in the admin? Like how best to set up the knowledge base?
Yes.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say there is some options and some quick tips within the admin portal, and also some support documents, right, that kind of explain best practices on that as well. Ankita, I don't know if you had things to add to that as well, but
Nope, I think you covered it.
okay.
Okay, so as we wrap up, one piece I just want to say, if you are a current customer interested in understanding what pricing models work for you, we, in your admin portal, you'll be able to log in and go check out the self-service portal where pricing is listed there, and also more information that we covered today on what the AI receptionist does and how it works. And then if you are a prospective customer, definitely make sure you have that reach out. We will contact you for making sure that you get what you need from the AI receptionist. And I just want to take a moment to thank you all for your amazing questions. It was almost like these were seed questions, but they were not, because you guys are awesome. And I also want to thank Devin for his time today. He did a great job with the demo. And as always, we will send out a follow-up with the recording of this presentation, as well as some additional assets for you to look at and review. And with that, again, thank you so much. This was like a ton of engagement. You guys are amazing. We absolutely love having these for you. And we'll be continuing them forward. So thank you all again. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.